Nun 2 is a 2023 gothic supernatural horror movie, directed by Michael Chavez with a screenplay by Ian Goldberg, Richard Nang, and Akela Cooper. It stars Thaisa Farmiga, Jonas Bloquet, and Bonnie Aarons. The story takes place in 1956 France, where a priest is murdered and evil is spreading. So the church reaches out to Sister Irene and asks her to go up against the evil nun once again.
There's something wrong with the school. Something doesn't feel right.
So the Nun 2, guys, there's some good and there's some bad with this one. So I went last night and checked this out. And first of all, I gotta say, I think this is definitely a much better film than the first one. I was not a fan of the first Nun at all. I thought it was definitely the worst in the Conjuring universe. It was just so boring with characters that really didn't grab you. There wasn't much of enough backstory for them for you to care. There wasn't enough bloodshed and kills. It just felt so boring to take this character of the nun, who, in my opinion, is at least the scariest looking and has the most potential, except for maybe the Crooked Man, of this Conjuring universe, and to basically give you this boring movie without much of anything to make you go, oh, she's scary, other than just a bunch of cheap jump scares. But with that being said, this one is definitely better, but it does still suffer from some of the same things, because for me personally, I still found this one to be kind of boring. But there is a much better story, definitely much better developed characters with enough backstory that you actually care. There are stakes in this one, and they give you some absolutely fantastic kills. The nun is much more vicious in this and goes absolutely medieval on some people in it. And there's one scene in particular, you've probably seen a little clip of it in the trailer, and that's of these magazine stand, and it's like flipping and you're seeing these different images. And the trailer gives you a glimpse of it, but I'm telling you, that scene is amazing. In my opinion, that might be the coolest scene of any of the Conjuring universe movies. I loved it. I thought it was phenomenal. And the mood and lighting in this is really good. I really enjoyed the atmosphere. And yes, it is a little washed out, but I think that's just to kind of give you that feel of this being from, a past time, an older kind of movie. But I really enjoyed the atmosphere, the way they made things look. It just makes you feel that you're just never sure when something's gonna happen. It always kind of leaves you with that feeling of another foot is gonna drop and you just don't know when. And I thought that was really effective, and I really appreciated that. I also really appreciated all the acting in this, and even the little bits of humor that were thrown in from time to time I thought worked well as well. My biggest problem with this movie is it just felt slow. It just felt like I kept being like, come on, like, let's do this. I feel like they could have cut at least 15 minutes out of this movie and it would have worked even better. But I did enjoy the fact that it really picks up towards the end. The final act of this movie goes nuts, which is kind of strange in a way because it doesn't exactly fit tonally, because the rest of this movie feels almost like a mystery, like a whodunit. It's got that kind of pacing to it, and then all of a sudden you have just this insane ending where there's all kinds of craziness happening, tons of action and gore and just everything. So it was a little bit, kind of didn't feel exactly like it fit, but I still appreciated it because it definitely got me going again, and it had kind of lulled me into this stupor a little where I was like, all right, what's gonna happen here? Like, let's get this going. But I think the biggest reason why I found it boring, because I'm the guy that loves slow burns. I love slow movies, but ones that have you invested, that you're really curious about a story, that you're watching it unfold and there's emotional, acting and stakes and whatnot. This doesn't really have that, because instead of giving you a really cool backstory, which I personally have been waiting for to hear about the nun, this one just gives you this really weird kind of story, this legend about this item, this eye, this like relic thing. And it kind of ties in, but it's also kind of like, okay, I don't really care that much. And the other thing I had more of an issue with was there's a pretty massive hole in this movie, and without spoiling it, I can't say, but it's something that was in the first movie, and it almost feels like they retconned it in this, but I'm just not sure. I really don't understand how it could have went down the way that it does, but I do enjoy that the first movie and this one definitely connect. I do recommend that if it's been a while since you've seen the first one, it's a good idea to brush up on it. Spooky Astronaut did a video really kind of recapping that first movie and getting you all ramped up and ready for the Nun 2. I highly recommend that video, and let her know the pirate sent you. Maybe one of these days, me and her can collab on something, I don't know. Either way, I really dig her channel, and I really enjoyed that video and appreciated it because, to be honest, the Nun bored me to the point where I didn't remember much of what happened, and I'll be damned if I was gonna rewatch that whole movie. So her video really helped me out a ton because it made me feel really ready to watch this movie and know what was going on and follow it. So all in all, it's kind of a mixed bag kind of movie. I think if you're a big fan of the Conjuring universe, I think you'll probably enjoy this. If you loved the first Nun, then I think you'll definitely love this one because I feel like it's a lot better than that first film. And in general, it was all right. You know, I wish it had picked up a little more. I wish there had been more of a, backstory that was compelling and things like that. But I did really enjoy the directing style and the overall feel of this movie enough that I did enjoy it, and I did enjoy the characters. And I really love that they made the nun feel scary again. I mean, she's absolutely so terrifying and menacing in this film. But I also think you need to keep your expectations low, like real low, because in that case, you'll probably have a good time with it. But if you go in expecting, The Conjuring 2, like one of the best of this universe, then you'll probably be disappointed. So just don't expect too much, and I think you'd enjoy it. My personal recommendation, though, is wait for this to stream on Netflix or wherever. Don't go spend a whole bunch of money to go to a theater right now. Go see Talk to Me instead, or I don't know, something else with that money if you really want to go out to a theater. Or wait a little bit and go see Saw X, which I'm super excited about. And it probably won't be great either, but I still can't help it. You see the poster behind me? Like, I'm super jazzed for that movie. But that's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for watching this. I really do appreciate you guys all so much. And if you could do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and ding that little bell, because that is the best way to keep track of this channel and when I post videos like this. And I post videos like this every single week. I also want to give a huge, massive, enormous thank you to the Ghost Pirate crew, to you guys over on Patreon, and to the channel members over here. You guys mean the absolute world to me. And if you would like to find out how you can help support this channel over on Patreon, there's a link down in the description. Or if you want to become a channel member and support the channel that way, there's a button right down there that says join. But like always, thank you so much for watching. Please crush that like button, and remember, guys, horror can be fun! And if you enjoyed this, click right here to watch my review of Cobwebs, my favorite movie so far for the Halloween season. And I'll see you guys next time!